Good morning. Well, I took the day off from filming yesterday. Anyway, today we are back to this project. We're going to get this thing shined up and probably done, finished up and out of here. I think Brock will be here a little bit later this morning, so I'll have him help me working on that. In the meantime, I did get this morning another one of my chemical suppliers' prices, and so I'm kind of working on that project again, back to figuring out what to buy from who and how much of everything we need. And I need to go out and take inventory of what we've got left over from last year. So we're gonna go do that right now. I'll start right here in our little back porch to our office where we kind of keep some stuff. We've got a few things here, not a ton, but enough that we need to inventory it. Well, we had quite a bit more out here than I was expecting. Anyway, I got my list. Mostly it's that 2,4-D, that LV4 there, which we'll use in our burn down ahead of beans. So way ahead of beans. But yeah, that'll work. Not much out here. A little bit of glyphosate in the bottom of there, about 40 gallons. So I think that might be it. All right, well, we're over here on my spreadsheet. I put in the carryover stuff we have, and then it calculates out how many acres, all that stuff to do. None of them are a whole lot other than this. This is that LV4, the 2,4-D. It's enough for 320 acres. So without getting too close into that, you can see there the yellow ones are which ones is cheaper. And so they're fairly split back and forth. Now, more of the bigger purchases are in this column than this column. But yeah, it looks like we'll be splitting our chemical order between a couple of different suppliers, and we'll go from there. A lot of things were fairly close, like this Miravis Neo here. They were 4 cents different. That's that's pretty close. But other things like the Talnor here, 161 per case compared to 421. That's almost 3 times the cost. So there's some huge differences in there as well. With what the grain markets are doing right now and over the last week and really the last couple of months, I fully expect things to keep going up and to not get cheaper anytime soon. So it's time to get this stuff locked in. We locked in our anhydrous cost for the year earlier this week. I paid one of the bills yesterday. I got to go drop off a check for the other stuff today. And it's a good thing that we've got our seed costs pretty well locked in. For the way things are shaping up for the next year here, it looks like we're going to get our inputs locked in pretty reasonably relative to the grain prices, as long as we sell some grain to help cover that stuff. It's next year that I'm worried about stuff for 2022, because when the input suppliers and the companies that we buy from see grain prices doing what they're doing, they're going to jack their prices up, whether it's the equipment side, the seed side, the chemical side. They're all going higher. And so if the grain prices don't last where they're at, then 2022 could be pretty tight, but we'll see. 21 right now looks like it should be a decent year, as long as we can raise a decent crop. Anyway, Brock's here. He's detarring our tractor, or attempting to anyway. Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job there. So we're gonna work on this here. We got it all washed up pretty decent, so I'm gonna wash those side panels and everything down. We'll get those put back on. I am gonna put the ceramic coat just on the hood on this. We're not gonna do the fenders and the cab top and stuff. We'll spray that spray-on stuff on them, and we'll get it all put back together. Somebody commented on the last video from the other day when I was washing this, what happened to the grill for this tractor. Well, it's right there. This one, the hood does not fold up like the other two tractors, the 8430 and the 8R. You have to lift it off. The hood doesn't really come off very easily, but the front grill comes off so you can clean the radiator. These kind of side shields that fit in there over the air cleaner and stuff come off. That's what's laying over there. So just a different style. This thing's not perfect, but it does a pretty darn good job. A lot easier than sweeping it with a broom, and a lot less dusty. That's the other thing. This one's got a vacuum on it with an air filter, so it keeps the dust from getting up in the air and everything. Decided I needed to clean the floor up, and we're gonna back that tractor up over here so I can get it out of the way, so I can wash them shields up over there. This is a whole process. Okay, now we can scrape up our pile of dirt that was washed off of it the other day. Eventually we're going to need to get the backhoe in here and scoop up our piles. Alright, Brock's got the fenders cleaned up and sprayed that ceramic spray on that and the top of the cab, cleaning out the cabs and washing interior windows. I put the grill back on, I put the side shields back on. I had to do a little bit of touch-up painting, so I did that and waiting for that to dry, and this afternoon we'll put another coat of the ceramic coating on the hood and those side shields there. We did need to grease this before we get it out of here. This does not have a suspended front axle. Wasn't a thing when this tractor was made. So it's quite simpler to grease. Two on the knuckle here where it pivots, a tie rod, and then the center, the axle pivots the whole thing from the center frame, so there's a couple of zerks there. And then once those are done, there are still the same ones here on the 3-point hitch that need to be done. All right, look at this, guys. Look, look, look. I'm not the only one. Well, me and Brock aren't the only ones that have to do power washing around here. Phil's washing the semi truck. He's yeah, she's dirty, so he's getting that cleaned up a little bit, and he was gonna haul some more this afternoon, but yeah. All right, well, we are both back from lunch. We're gonna put this coating on that tractor and get it out of here. The plan for the rest of the afternoon after we get that on is to clean up the shop a little bit. We need to do something with that pile of cardboard, and we need to clean up that side of that stuff, that corner. That tractor's gonna have to move. I'm gonna have to get a crate and put a bunch of my parts for that tractor in it and get things cleaned up in here, because we're gonna bring a planter in later this afternoon, most likely. All right, well, there. That's pretty well done. Okay, time to move that one out, clean up the shop, and shuffle more equipment around. Well, for a 26-year-old tractor, it's not too bad. Could use a cab kit. I'm gonna let it run for a little bit, charge the battery out here while we clean up the shop. Try not to get muddy in the driveway. All right, so we've got to clean up this farm-all project a little bit here, and I do want to get back to this, but like I've said before, the farm equipment is priority, the stuff that's actually going to get used. So my plan at the moment is to get the 2 planters through the shop, which may take us a month, but that's probably pretty extreme. It depends on how quickly we move through things, which still only puts us to the middle of February and gives us lots of time before spring. So then maybe we can work on this tractor some, and we can get the 4020 up here and fix the steering issues that we've got on that. So I got this box. Apparently we need to clean it out a little bit, and we're gonna put all my farm all parts in there and just be able to move stuff and get it out of the way a little bit. Okay, tractor in a box. All right, we're gonna find room for this in the back. We might have to pull the planter out first, but we'll get it somewhere. Really, the next steps on this project are continuing to work with the engine, getting new pistons and sleeves and stuff. So I'm going to leave this stuff out up here so we can work on that when we get to it. And if Jack gets back around here eventually, he can help me out. Moving it out the way. All right, that should get that out of the way. Now it's just the rest of this stuff we got to figure out what to do with. The stairs we're going to put in the back of the shop because we're pretty well done with those, or at least won't need them for a while. Over here on this cart, we've got a blown lawnmower engine. So this is junk and can be trashed. Cut the valve. Yep, no good. And yeah. We're getting there. All right, well, I'm not sure that looks much better, but it is better. Those 2 things got to go in the back yet. We'll sweep the floor before we bring a planter in, but we got to get the planter moved out of the back of the shop before we can move stuff back there. So time to go play equipment shuffle. I'm going to get my coat, and we're going to hook that 1790 bean planter that's right there up to the 8430 and get that brought in here. Well, this tractor didn't get to sit for very long, but we've got a planter hooked up. I haven't done the hydraulics or electronics, but I got the 3-point or 2-point hooked up to it. So we're going to pull it out in the driveway and unfold it, and then we'll put it in the shop because those wing wheels have settled, which sometimes means that they will drop in a hurry, and you gotta be able to set it down, rephase everything, and I don't like doing that on concrete. Alright, so I pulled this up. These are latched. We've got a whole lot of hydraulic hoses to hook up here, and they're kind of dirty. I am embarrassed by this planter because I did not clean it up after we got done with it. We just stuck it in the barn, and I'm pretty sure there's still seed in the meters. I'm disgusted by it, but it is what it is. I didn't have time last summer to do anything with it, and nobody else did anything with it, so that's why we're going to do it now and give it a little extra attention here this winter. I think I've got everything hooked up right. The fold control box is already in there, so we should be able to do this. We've got to take some stops out, but I'm assuming there's weight on them. Right here, yes. So we got to lift them ranks up and get them cylinder stops out, and then we can lower everything. So I need transport, and we need that button. We got a quick one. And roll lift. There they go. Okay, now we should get our stops out. Now we want to let those rows down. Okay, now we drop our wing wheels like that, and now we can lower our 3-point and hope that it supports the weights. And we got a flat tire. Of course we do. I'm hoping the inside one has still got some air in it. It does, so it'll support it. We just got to get it unfolded and be able to be brought in the shop. All right, I'll record this later. Okay, I got it unfolded. I had it set down and leveled everything up. I did roll one tire off the rim. The bead broke the bead, so we'll have to fix that, but I put some air in the one next to it so that it has enough to support the empty planter. We're just, yeah, all we gotta do is fold it back up and put it in the shop and get it unfolded again. All right, we got everything moved around. I'm gonna stop saying all right in this video. Shop floor cleaned up. That grain cart might be in the way. We're gonna back this in there and see if we can get it unfolded, but we've got to back through the center wall a little ways to give us clearance around our posts, and it's gonna be tight. All right. And sorry I didn't film that. It requires 2 hands. When I do the corn planter, or maybe when we get this out, I'll get my magnetic mount and remember it and actually film it. Got room to get around here. Looks okay. You can see it takes every bit of shop space we've got. We're past that post, so you got to fit it in just the right spot. Let me make sure our front of our tractor is in. This will not fit in the shop folded up. And we're gonna have to go back a little bit to get the door closed. So that's why we have to unfold it. Now we'll fit. It's sort of nice to be able to walk through there, but do what you gotta do. This one's tall enough you can walk underneath the tongue to get from one side to the other. Okay, Brock, you've been waiting for the bean planter. There it is. Have fun. For not having been washed at all since we finished planting, it's not that terribly dirty. It is dirty, as you can see here and there, but we can get it. It's dirty in there, although, yeah, maybe a few beans. The plates in there? Yeah, the plates are still in there. That's a bad thing. We shouldn't have left the plates in there, but well, here's what it is now. We'll pull them out and get it all cleaned up. So what do we need to do? Good questions. I'm not real sure yet. check everything for starters, and then we'll see from there. But these row units are all going to come all apart and get cleaned up, and we're going to pull the meters out. We're going to graphite the back of the meters. We need to pull gauge wheels off and check the seed discs openers. Actually, we probably don't need to pull the gauge wheels to do that, but we need to check the contact area. So these two blades form a V, and you can see they kind of come together and touch, and then they separate again. And the distance that they are touching is a measurement spec. It needs to be between 1.5 and 2.5 inches. So we've got to measure that on all of the row units, and we'll measure the blades and the no-till colders, the blades that are out in front, and see if we need to replace any of those. Check bearings on everything. Clean, check bearings on everything, clean it, check connections on everything, clean it. You know, the basics. To start with here, I'm going to have Brock empty all of the beans, take the plates out, get all the row units emptied. And I got some other stuff to work on here. We'll work on my chemicals a little bit, so we'll check in a little bit. First, I'll show you how this works. So we got this fancy little clean out cup there that clips on, and you take the vacuum door off or open that out of the way, unsnap the plate. They can be tricky. There you go. Pull that, and then all the seeds on the other side of it, and they come rolling out 32 times. This is still that time of year when I'm glad we don't have a bigger planter or corn head or anything, because more row units means more time in the shop, and it's tedious work. Okay, well, Brock got all the plates out and all the beans out, and then we took all the plates, the seed plates, and put them over here on a piece of plywood, and he washed them down, and we're going to let them dry off. We need to spread them out a little bit, because then we'll spray some graphite on the back. You can see there's some on there, but it is wearing off, so we'll recoat those. And now he is going through row units and kind of cleaning those all up. And so this is the tedious, takes a while project here, or part of doing this, but he's got a few of them done here. But basically, we're just taking all of the components out of the meter that we can, and then kind of washing them up, spraying the meters off. But you got the door there and the seal, and then there's, you know, this clear window plate, there's that piece, there's handles and screens and all kinds of stuff. So yeah. Okay, well, it's long past time for me to go home, so I'm going to get out of here. Brock just took off, and we'll keep working on this stuff tomorrow. I guess Brock's not going to be here tomorrow. I thought he was, but that's okay. We're going to, well, we might spray these plates down. I got a little bit of spray graphite, but I don't know that I have enough, so I might have to go and get some more before we get that out of here. It's supposed to be above freezing tomorrow. I don't really want to, but there's a chance I'm going to take this planter outside and power wash it off out there after I get the row units off and stuff, just to get the heavy stuff off, because it's really not convenient to power wash sitting right here this close to the bench and on this half of the shop where it's got to be to have it unfolded. So we'll see. We'll make that plan tomorrow. We got to get a tire fixed and pump up some other ones so that we don't have more trouble with those, and we'll just keep working on this. This project's probably going to be in here for a while, so get used to seeing it. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hit that like and subscribe button for me, please. And if you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.